Okay, let's try this again. Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Thursday, in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you tonight. Man, I got a live and a half for you tonight. So some of you know that I'm taking Ray Higdon's Test 2.0 Top Earners Success School 2.0. Man, this is a 6 weeks training, and we're in week 3, and this guy, I mean, Ray is just he's just another level. And if you haven't ever taken any of his stuff, I mean, you could YouTube him, you could find him on Facebook here, his public profile, and you're gonna get definitely some value from him. But so I have had a breakthrough today that I gotta share, and some of you may resonate with this, some of you may just right, but what I'm about to share with you is very personal. I've never shared, definitely never shared it on camera, never, and I feel like I've been on a high all day because of this breakthrough, and it's been really just mind-opening, and it just answered a big question in my head, you know. So as I said, I'm taking tests with Ray Higdon, and last night he had a Q&A for the group, right? And he does this every other week. And last night I raised my hand to ask a question, and I got in. Oh my goodness. So my question has been, that's a whole other thing I got in, that if you haven't ever, like I said, maybe you should YouTube him or find his public profile here. You're gonna get so much value from his trainings. But so I raised my question last night, and one of the questions I asked was, and this has been a question in my head for a while, and I'm going to come transparent. This is going to be a very personal live and very transparent. But I've even asked this question several times when he's gone live at different places, and posted it and just deleted it, posted it, deleted it, posted it, kind of thing. So it's been on my mind. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea, I've been in the corporate world. Well, I was in the corporate world until June 7th, but I've been in the corporate world since 20 years, 19 years, right? 20 years. And mortgage industry, all kinds of stuff, right? And I've worked with companies where, you know, the employee count has been, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 employees, competing amongst, 300, 500 agents. I've also been in environments where I was completely new to the industry, to the whole profession, and I was able to, within 4 months, I was able to be ranked number 1 within the whole company in that. Now, this stuff is nothing to impress you, just to impress upon you. I'm just trying to build a story. So you know a little bit about the background. Whoever's joining me live, I don't see who joins me live. I wish I could see the names pop, but it doesn't. So hopefully you can say hi or something. And so and some of you have worked with me. Some of you have worked with me in these environments. Some of you know me from these environments. And you know what I'm about to say. I've always climbed to be one of the top. I've always kind of, I can tell you a story. It's a funny story, but I've always climbed to be. It'll be really long. So I've always climbed to be either like number one, number two, like right there within the company. It doesn't matter how many agents or how many employees, right? That's kind of been my thing. Now, switch over to network marketing, and when you get into this space, first of all, it's a whole different world. You could be and this is something I've realized now. It, obviously didn't get it then, but you could be a superstar in a different environment. But when you come into network marketing and direct sales, it's a whole different ballgame. You almost have to unlearn everything you've learned in like that world, and like be ready and coachable to relearn new things here, right? And apply them here in this like world, So this question has been on my head. And the question is this, and maybe this can apply to you in other areas of your life, not necessarily, you may not be in network marketing or direct sales. You may even hate it. You may think I'm a scam artist and I'm, whatever you do think in this day and age. But nonetheless, excuse me, you can apply this in other areas of your life. Like I said, I'm going to be extremely transparent tonight. Some things I've never shared about my life before, but I had a breakthrough today and I think it's important. So let's get to it. So my question has been, so why is it that I love the direct sales network marketing space? Like I do everything. Like I do the trainings, I'm on the calls, I help out with the groups, with the team, all this stuff. But when it comes to taking action, doing what I call MMA, money-making activities, I struggle. I hit the brakes, right? I stop. I have a day that I kill it. I reach out to tens and tens and tens of people. And then there's a day next to it that I don't, like I reach out to one person, right? And it here comes the transparency. And I feel, it feels bad. Like I almost, well, not almost, I kind of feel guilty about myself. Like, how is it that yesterday I rocked it, today I didn't, right? So I have this question about taking action and being consistent. Now, here's the reason why I have this question. I have this question because in a corporate world, in a retail world, even some of you know me from my retail time. I worked at like the one name that you would know. I worked at Tiffany's and Company, right? And when I worked there, I didn't know anything about jewelry, but I rocked it, right? I was one of the top producers. So my question is, okay, so how is it that when I was in the mortgage industry, for example, let's go there, I worked literally 15, 16-hour days, 7 days a week for a good 10 months without getting paid. Like I was getting paid hourly. And I think at the time was $25 a file or something like that. And some of you, like I said, you've worked in that office with me, so you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to name the company name, but so I would be making, no joke, 200, 250, sometimes 300 phone calls a day, working 15, 16-hour days, right? Suited and booted and nervous, stutter, this, that, not have a clue what's going on with the loans. I would bring the deal in and they wouldn't fit into the guidelines, and I had, it's embarrassing, but they had what's called Sean's cancellation drawer, and I had more cancellations than anybody else, right? I was a great salesman. I would bring until 10 months, I'm going to shorten the story, until 10 months after, it finally clicked and I rocked it. I started to make a bunch of cash. Some of you know that story. I made 100,000 in 3 months and the rest is history, right? Now, So why is it that I keep asking myself, why is it that I was crazy there, and then I would be at my, it wasn't an office, it was a cubicle. I would be at my cubicle at 5:55 a.m., had already bought breakfast for the two girls downstairs, and that would, transfer the calls. I'd already taken care of them. I'd be at my cubicle 5:55 a.m. with a big cup of hot Persian tea and just ready to take the first call. And I would go home with the cleaning crew, right? No joke, 10:30 at night, 11, right? And I would repeat this the next day. Now, my question is, why the heck would I be able to close deals and do that? 200, 250, 300 calls a day, random, do all that stuff. And when I get here in this space, I hit the brakes, right? The first answer I got from Ray, through other Q&As and other people asking the question and being involved in the training, was, at some point in your life, you've drawn the wrong conclusion about success. Guys, this is a huge life. If you're staying with me, stay to the end. You're in for a treat. So you've drawn the wrong. Who's here? Whoever's here. I see like eyeballs go 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know who's here. Maybe throw a comment or say hi or something so I know who's here. It'd be nice to know who I'm talking to. So the first thing is, you drew the wrong conclusion about success at some point. Cookie, yes, I see you. Cookie, yes. So at some point, oh, I'm so glad you're here. So at some point you drew the, yes, I see you, I see you. So at some point you drew the wrong conclusion about success, which means at some point in your life you said, okay, no matter how hard I work, I ain't gonna get it. No matter how hard I try, it's not gonna happen. If you're watching in our stuttering groups, I want you to pay attention here, because this is about you as well. You may think that, hey, no matter how hard I try, I'm always gonna stutter. No matter how hard, how much, how, I'm always gonna stutter, right? So at some point, we draw that wrong conclusion that no matter what, we suck. No matter what, I ain't gonna make it, right? Now, that was the first answer, right? And truthfully, that was not enough for me. And here's the reason why that was not enough for me, because I never drew the wrong conclusion. I never thought I did, because I went on to make a lot of cash in the mortgage industry. So I like that lifestyle. I'm very comfortable with making, good money, let's just say, right? I have no problem with that. So it was, and I tasted that success, right? And then it just went away. I lost it all. That's another story that a lot of you already know. But so I was like, okay, that's kind of not the reason why I don't take action, why I don't move forward, why I don't do a lot of things that I should be doing. Again, this is such a transparent, I'm being so transparent tonight, because this is a huge coaching opportunity for a lot of you guys. So I'm like, why? I would be working 16-hour days there, and I don't here. So I asked that question again last night with the fact that I had already thought about drawing the wrong conclusion about success. So I said, that's not enough. So here's what I came up with in addition to drawing the wrong conclusion. And this was that, hey, you know what? All my life, and this is the truth, and this may be true with some of you guys, all my life, I'm 50. I'm saying all my life, including like today, includes today. All my life, my parents, especially my dad, has tried to make things easy for me. Pay really good attention here, especially if you're a young parent. Please, for the love of God, okay? They tried to make things easy for me. And here's the reason why I think. At 2 years old, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer. A lot of you know the story. Had one kidney removed at 2 years old. I turned two in the hospital. Went through chemo for 6 months, all that stuff. And I feel like that was a guilt for my parents. I know this is really being transparent about my life, but I got to step out of my comfort zone to do it. So I think that they have that guilt still, actually, to this day. And the guilt has been added on, right? And they have this guilt about, this poor guy went through whatever he went through all this life. Now I have more. Obviously, it's not just one. So, so they've tried to make things easy for me. And because of that, I feel like, well, sometimes I don't want to take action because it just maybe feels hard. And I did a whole live on the hard story. Maybe it just feels like hard. Like if you're in, like I said, if you're in my stuttering groups, maybe you feel like it's just hard to do a 2-minute live. It's hard to do a 30-second "Hi, my name is" clip. Or if you're in the real world and doing reels for your business, like I have been doing, like I've been really stepping out of my comfort zone, singing, dancing, all kinds of stuff. So if you're doing that kind of stuff, you gotta step out of that comfort zone and say, well, yeah, it's hard, right? I mean, for me to step out and start lip syncing and dancing and this and that, I've talked about it especially in last night's live or the night before. I've had people like literally cuss me out and block me, especially yesterday, right? With the whole thing going on in Iran. So I've literally had people cuss me out and block me, but then I can't let that stop me, right? So, drawing the wrong conclusion to success, giving up, saying no matter what, I won't, okay? 2, maybe you've had a life that your parents or whoever brought you up, thank you, it takes some time to put them together, but you know what? Cookie, some of these are so funny. I have to redo them because I bust up laughing doing them. You know what I mean? So like this kid that I I do with his dad. It's just so fun. There's so many skits of him I want to do. They block me because they say this is not a good time for you to be singing and dancing and throwing jokes out there. And I get it. I like when I decided to go live, January 1st, 2019, I decided to go live and I haven't stopped since then, right? There's 3 things that I said I'm not gonna ever talk about. 1, I'm never gonna talk about religion. Never gonna talk about religion. Whatever you rock, you rock. You guys know where I stand, but I'm never gonna talk religion. That. 2, I'm never gonna talk politics. Most of you know where I stand, but I'm never gonna talk politics. Now, I do Trump skits because I think they're hilarious. And you know where I stand. So I never talk, thank you. And so I don't talk politics. That's number 2. 3, I don't talk racial stuff. I don't. What the heck would I talk racial stuff? I'm Persian. Hello. You know what I mean? So I don't talk religion. I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. I mean, I don't talk sexual stuff, right? So I don't talk about them and I don't post about them. If you notice, things could be going berserk, but I just don't post about them. I don't want to be that messenger. there's plenty of people that are posting that stuff. Does that make sense? There's plenty of people. You could go turn this way, this way, this way, this way, and there's people that are posting, right? So I don't want to be that source of information. That's not the type of value I want to bring to the marketplace. That's not what I decide. That's not my purpose. You want politics? Turn on the news. Why would you turn to me? I'm not the guy. You know what I mean? Why would you turn to me for politics? I'm not your guy. I wouldn't talk about it. Some of you have even started. I don't like it. It's just like, it's exhausting. You know what I mean? Some of you have tried to get me in these conversations, and you know my response. And my response is, I don't get into that ping pong match. That's one game I don't play. He said, she said. It's just not my thing. Okay? So, no religion, no politics, and no racial stuff. I just don't do it. Now, I've done skits that it's a gay skit. Okay. I got hate on that. All right. No problem. I did a black teacher skit, which I'm going to do again. You know, I got hate on that. I do Vietnamese skits. I got hate on that. I've done Persian and Arabic stuff. I've done Korean. Wait until I bust out my Mexican stuff. The point is this. I'm not that guy. I'm not here to bring that kind of a news or that. I'm just having a good time, and first of all, I make fun of me. That's like the most important thing. I have so much to make fun of me all day. And those of you who know me know this is true about me. I make fun of me first, like all the time, right? And then that gives me the room to do that. Now, none of the stuff I do is to offend anybody. I don't even know why we went into this tangent, but I just want to make sure, you know, hey, it is what it is. So if you're coming to me for that kind of, I just want to drop it at this. If you're coming to me for that kind of information, you wouldn't get that information. Like if you came to me for me to preach Christianity or preach Islam or Judaism, you wouldn't get that from me. I wouldn't be that guy. So don't waste your time. If you're coming for me to see what happened at 5 o'clock on the news, to me, you wouldn't get that information. You know what I mean? So don't come to me for that stuff, please. I just want to bring value. I want to make people laugh. I want to inspire people. I want to move people. I want to help people make some money online. I want to create movers and shakers. I don't have time for this stuff. I get it. I understand it. Believe me, I get it. I get it. I live in a community where things happen all around you. I get it, right? But I just have to separate myself, because here's the thing. Once you start to separate yourself, and I did a live on this the other day, this is when I call crossing the wall. When you're crossing the wall, you're getting away from this crowd. This crowd is going to make fun of you while this other crowd is going to welcome you. That's so huge, okay? This crowd that you're leaving is going to make fun of you. But the new crowd that you're joining is going to welcome you. So you got to decide. You want to be laughed at or you want to be welcomed? You decide. I decided for me. You got to decide for you. For those of you who stutter, you got to decide. You want to be in this crowd that all your life, this, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't talk, I can't. Or you want to go somewhere where you're welcomed. Doesn't matter if you can talk or not. Doesn't matter. they welcome you either way. You know what I mean? You gotta decide. This crowd will make fun of you. They make fun of you until you cross the wall and you're completely gone. But this other crowd is gonna welcome you. So get in the crowd that welcomes you. Be there that loves you and pours love on you. Why would you go there I always say this. You've heard me say this a million times. I don't go where I'm not wanted or welcomed. And guess what? I don't let that crowd in either. Why would you have a party and invite people that hate you? Like, why? I don't go physically, and I don't go emotionally or mentally as well. Like, I don't take my thoughts and my recommendations or anything there either. When somebody's just, I'm not just gonna, right? So, why we don't take action, like why I'm stuck with this whole taking action with this whole network marketing thing, to where it's a massive action. And like I said, I've been thinking this all day, and it's changed my game. Well, it changed my game. Now I know, right? Now I know. And this is the first time I'm going to talk about this ever. I've never talked about this. So again, drawing the wrong conclusion to success, or just things have been made easy for me, it still wasn't there for me. So why is it that I'm rocking it in the corporate world when there is a clock in, clock out situation, right? When you have to go to the office or you work from home, you got to clock in, clock out. They tell you what time to take lunch, what time to go to the bathroom, and what time to do all this stuff, right? And when there's competition around, why do I excel there? And when I can run this whole thing out of my cell phone, I'm taking it easy, right? Where can actually impact a lot of lives. Why am I taking it easy? Boom. Are you ready for the punchline? Oh my goodness. Here it comes. So I'm making it emotional. So I thought about how I'm going to share this. So my childhood, my upbringing was very unique. How unique, you say? I'm the only child from both of my parents, and my mom was married before, and she has a brother. I mean, she has a brother. She has a daughter and a son through that marriage, which are my half. I'm going to. It's okay. It's gonna happen. And so, but I never grew up with them, right? I grew up in my own. I'm just as a only child. Now, here's the ticket. What I'm about to share with you that I've never shared before. This is actually where my stuttering comes from. There's two points in my life that stuttering comes from, and this is one of them. So so I grew up in a I grew up my parents, like I said, they wanted to make things easy for me. So my parents had turned the living and the dining, it was a very unique house, the living and a dining room into one room, and I had that room as my bedroom. Let me just give you the size. I had a California king bed growing up, and I still could put another California king bed in the room and have plenty of room to do whatever I want. It was that big of a room. Okay. It was a corner room. I don't know how detailed I want to go to. I won't go into detail, but it was a corner room and there was a lot of windows. The whole two walls that came together at the corner, it was all windows. And and the windows were shut. We had horizontal blinds, a sheer curtain over that, and a blanket curtain, almost like a really thick curtain over that. So here's the window, the blind, the sheer curtain, and then the blanket curtain. And and I wasn't allowed to pull the curtains and look outside. So I don't want to go into details. I really don't. But I had all the toys in the world that you could imagine a kid could have. I'm a huge Legos fan, still at 50. I'm a huge Legos fan. And I grew up with Legos, and I can't tell you how many sets I had of Legos. Just so many sets of Legos. I collected erasers. I haven't shared this stuff with anybody. Collected erasers. I had over 600 different erasers. And these are erasers like shaped like cars and burgers and all kinds of stuff. I had over 600 erasers. I collected matches. I had over 1,000 different matches. And here's one of the punchlines I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a couple, and then I'm going to wrap it. I never. Okay, all these cartoons that kids have watched, like all the cartoons you guys have watched, all the cartoons you grew up with, Cinderella, Pinocchio, I mean, all this stuff, right? I've never watched them as a kid. I never watched anything like that. So when people talk about that stuff, I have no idea, right? Yeah, true. So I've never watched any of that stuff. Here's a fun fact for you. I've never played in the streets with other kids. Like, I've never gone outside the house to play with kids. I don't know what that's like. I've never done that, ever in my life. I don't know what that's like. I had one friend that once in a blue moon would have to come over and play in my room. And I wasn't allowed to go to their house or to go out in the streets. So I wasn't allowed to pull the curtains to see the kids play right beyond my window. I would hear them, but I couldn't see them. I wasn't allowed to. And sometimes I would pull and... Here's one of the punchlines. As a kid, I've never ridden a bicycle on concrete. Actually, I haven't done it as an adult much either. I learned how to ride a bicycle inside my room on carpet. I've never gone outside to ride a bicycle. Now, why do I tell you this stuff? There's so much more, by the way. Now, I wasn't abused. I want to make sure, like, nobody called the cops on me or anything. It's not like I was beaten to death or I was chained to the bed. Nothing like that. I was loved, but I feel like they were so scared something would happen to me, especially my dad. So I have always been like that, living just under control moment, right? And thank you. So, man, so I'm sensitive when it comes to kids. I don't have kids, but I'm very sensitive. That's why in a lot of my lives, I get heated up over like crappy advice on parenting. But anyway, so why do I tell you all this stuff? The breakthrough I had today. So why is it that and everywhere I've gone, like I've said, I've had 37 jobs in 10 industries. The offices I've worked, some of the offices I've gone into, there's been people that work there from the past that I've worked with, right? And they know when I walk in, listen, I'm gonna take the board. I'm gonna get on top, right? So why is it that I do that there and I just don't do it here, right? Brad, what's up, money? Brad is one of the guys who has worked with me, so he knows a little of my story. But so the breakthrough. Are you ready for this? This is like huge, guys. I'm just about to drop the mic right now. I did not think this live is going to be this long. For those of you who are sticking around, thank you. I appreciate that. Drawing the wrong conclusion to success. I want to review. Things made easy for me. Still not doing it. Here it is. And this is a ticket for most of you. I'm telling you. You may not have had a dad like I did. You may have ridden your bike on the streets, which I have no idea how that feels. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that crazy? I tell that story I've told that story to a few people, maybe like 4 or 5 people. And they just like give me this stare, like this. I go, what? They go, what? I go, yeah. See, that's different. Not having one is different than having one and not being able to. It's very different. And I appreciate, obviously, the no presence of a dad. I get that. But I actually was talking about this to somebody who was in that situation. The dad wasn't around, and I was saying, well, you could have had, So it's different, right? But here's the breakthrough. I'm going to give you the breakthrough. So why is it that I'm successful in a corporate world, clocking in, clocking out, boss above me, do this is your quota, this is your cubicle, and then here I got this beautiful place, I'm living, I got this beautiful view, I'm kicking it, and I'm not pushing as hard as I should be, right? And Cookie knows why I'm not, right? I mean, not why I'm not, but she knows what I'm talking about, what I'm referring to. So here's the kick here, and this comes from Ray Higdon when he was talking to me last night. We're doing the Q&A, and he's all like, well, maybe there's competition there, and some people do good at an environment where you have to clock in, clock out, and there's a supervisor, and I thought about that, and boom, here it is. Oh my goodness, this is going to change my game starting tomorrow. Watch this. You ready? So all my life, 50, all my life, all 50 years, as long as I can remember, I have tried to get away, or at least not live under my dad's opinions and power, and just all the constant, like I've shared this before. At some point, the parent child, they gotta cut that umbilical cord. You can't be 98 and still have that umbilical cord to your kid. For the love of, ah. So all my life, I've tried, yes, authoritarian control, such a different control, because he never hit me. I only got one slap from him one time, and I'll never forget that. I was a kid. I believe I was I want to say I was 7 or 6, just one slap. But I've never got a nothing. It's just been the energy and the vibe and the words, and I can't explain it. Some of you know already. But so all my life I've tried to get away from that. All my life I've tried to, and some of you know I'm very loud, but I'm extremely private. Like nobody knows what the hell is going on in my life. Like you see me dancing, singing, doing all this stuff live and the stuff, but nobody really knows what's going on in my life. I'm very private. I'm very private. I'm loud, but I'm very private. I've said that many times, right? So I like to keep it that way. I just like my parents, they have no idea what I eat at lunch, or I just don't tell things to people, right? I just don't like to. That's why people share their stories with me and I don't leak. Like you could put a gun to my head, I just won't tell the story of somebody else to anybody. It doesn't matter. I just won't. Some of you have that. No way, right? So all my life, I've tried to get away from that. All my life, I've tried to break that, just cut that umbilical cord. All my life, I've tried to just be free, under no control. All my life, I've been trying to just get away from that supervision, right? And when I am under that supervision, I feel like, well, I got to perform. I got to do it. And here's the punchline. And that is why I am super successful in a corporate place where I feel like I got to perform. I got that control over me. I have to perform. I got to be a superstar. I got to impress. I'm that guy. But when I'm here, I feel like that pressure is not on me. There's no control over me. Nobody's telling me to clock in. Nobody's telling me to clock out. Nobody tells me how many people did you talk to today. Did you call 200 people? Oh, you didn't? Well, you better tomorrow. Otherwise, you're fired. I worked in that office. Nobody's telling me, hey, what did you do today? What time did you take lunch? Did you take lunch? How long did you take lunch? What time did you wake up? Did you call anybody? Did you learn anything? My 3 things, right? Show up, learn, move the needle. Did you? I feel like when I don't have that, when I'm not in that office setting, when I'm not under that supervision, even though there have been, like, I've done my own gig as well, right? My own broker shop, I've had my own sales team, all that. So I've been in the supervision position as well, but that's the control, right? So I feel like that's why there I excel, but here it's like for the first time, I feel like, oh, I can breathe. So I can take a breather. So I can relax a little bit. So I can chill. Right? Drew the wrong conclusion to success at some point. No matter what I do, no matter how hard I work. Remember, this is my, I wrote it down. Sixth network marketing company, 6th. And the first 5, well, the first 4, I didn't make a dime. In the 4th one, or in the 5th one, I made some money. And this is the 6th one that I'm actually doing. Actually, I can say I'm doing, you know. Thank you, Cookie. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So all my life, and you know, I can circle this back to stuttering because you gotta look. You gotta look because most likely all your life you've been under this some sort of a control. Now, it may not have to be a person, it could be your own mind drawing the wrong conclusion to success, right? So you could have this wrong mindset and have that. I talked about it being the bus driver just a couple of nights ago, right? Um, the deal breaker for this company. There's no deal breaker. You could do whatever you want. I don't understand the question. Deal breaker? There's no deal breaker. You gotta have a pulse and you gotta be 18. If you're 17 and don't have a pulse, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Vincent, on my 50th, which was September 5th, okay, that was my 1350th live in a row. I had done 1,350 lives. Now, since then to today, what is it, 17? Add another 17 to that. So thank you. I appreciate it. It's you guys. You guys tell me, hey, keep going. So I just keep going. You know what I mean? So, okay. That's a whole other life. But the reason why I took this opportunity or this company more seriously, I come from the business world. I mean, if you really want to talk about it, I mean, I come from the business world. I come from the finance world. 20 years in the mortgage industry. I can quote payments and rates and stuff in my head. So I look at a business, right? I look at the numbers. I look at business. I look at projections. I look at what's happening, what's not happening. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I look at all that stuff, right? And I look at their model and I look at what they're doing. It's like the stuff they're doing in this space, it's amazing. And if you're into, forget about like the products, the industry, just all that aside, right? You look at the business model and the space, what they're doing, and you would think to yourself, wow, like they're doing stuff. And some people like to be involved with people who are doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like some people like to be involved with people who are like moving and shaking things and like doing things, Like some people like that. I never knew I liked that. I actually didn't because I was kind of, I grew up in that room. I was kind of the solo guy. That's the truth. I mean, I've worked out alone all myself. I've lived on my own a lot. And the relationships I've had, a couple of them told me, it's just you and your world. I'm being transparent, right? So I never knew that I kind of wanted to be like with a bunch of people that are like doing stuff, like big stuff. And you think to yourself, okay, well, when would be a good time to like do stuff? Maybe be bigger than you are. Be like what you have started with our group, Cookie. 2 people, now 5,800 people. Almost 6,000 people that are getting loved and just, I mean, you're doing things. Some people like to be part of that. Some people like, hey, that's kind of like cool. The purpose is cool. The vehicle is supercharged and it's constantly changing. So the vehicle is cool. That's the company, right? And the stuff that's in the cart, the vehicle, I mean, the stuff is a multi-billion dollar industry. So me being the business guy, if you really want to break it down for business, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, like I said, right? Um, why is it that I would be a superstar in a corporate world with 1,500 employees and a manager telling me, oh, no, wait, you can't take a bathroom break. What are you doing? You haven't made enough calls yet. Versus I can sit here and do whatever the heck I want. So it never really registered, never really clicked until about like a couple months ago, between March 5th and June 7th. 92 days, my whole life changed. And it really made me sit there and really think what the heck I want to do. My girl that I thought was it left. So most of you know the story. My job laid me off, no reason. And three, I found out about my pancreas getting shut down. So I call it my girl dumped me, my job dumped me, and my health dumped me. So it was like all in 92 days, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do at this point? I'm a business guy, right? Well, what do? I gotta eat. Do I go back to the corporate world and do that stuff? Or do I want to just throw myself? Remember the wall. This crowd is making fun of me. I'm going to tell you about that right now. This crowd is going to make fun of me, and this crowd welcomes me. So do I throw myself in there and take a shot and take a chance and risk and throw myself with a crowd that are like doing stuff? That was for me. Some people are not willing to take that jump across that wall, you know. Now I know why I've been hesitant, because I've been wanting to, at the same time that I've want to get out of the control, I don't, right? And some of us are like that with stuttering too. You want to let go, but you don't, you're holding on to it. So for me, when I look at the business model, it's like the business model is unbelievable, right? In this space, in the network marketing space, and I've challenged anybody who's tried to recruit me, and I tell them all this because, and I don't want to make this a network marketing call live, but in that space, you got to see what works, what doesn't work, what has worked, what has discouraged so many people from this space, and what could help them, kind of reboot them again. And I just, like the company, like the business. I like the model. I like the fact that they've been around for 35 years. It's not like they've been around for 3.5 months. You know what I mean? They're just dominating. And if somebody's into that stuff, I'm like, we always have a choice, right? We can not do it and just watch other people do it, or so I've taken a lot of hit. I mean, a couple of my friends, I just put them away. I'm not texting them anymore. They may even watch this live, but I got to be willing to jump that wall now, right? And this crowd can make fun of me. Yesterday I see a really good friend of mine at this is funny stuff. These 2 days has been so impactful on me, man. Yesterday I see my really good friend, I can call him my best friend, at the market, right? And he's talking to me, and I'm talking about the layoff, and I can't talk about it much, and what I'm doing, and what I'm pursuing, and all that stuff. And he tells me, he goes, you should be careful how you do that, because it could affect, you applying for another job in the future. Now, for some of you, that may just, for me, it's like, your best friend gets to make fun of you right in your face for the decision you've made. jump in the wall. This crowd is gonna make fun of me. I got two other friends that text me during the day, pretty much all day, about maybe about 100 texts. I'm not kidding, a day. All crap messages about the fact that I've chosen this path, this journey. But see, here's the thing, and this is what I'm realizing today, and this is my breakthrough, right? So I can choose to look behind me, like turn around and still keep looking at this crowd, or I can just focus on this crowd that's about to give me all this love and hug and all this stuff. What would I want? You know what I mean? So I get it. I got to be able to, some of you know, the rhino on my desk, because rhino's got a skin of, an 1.5 inch thick skin. You know the story about a rhino. But I gotta have that rhino skin. I cannot, look, there's people across that wall that are waiting for me, right? All I just gotta do, and there's people here that are hating on me. Okay, well, I mean, I'd rather go for the people that like are waiting for me. Now, there's gonna be a few of them that are gonna hate on me, like yesterday, hated on me, blocked me, whatever. Okay, but for me, it's now that I know, now it's like, oh, I wake up whenever I want because I feel like I don't have that control over me anymore. I can do whatever I want because I don't have that control over me. But I need to switch, and this is another huge point, and I'm going to wrap it up, I swear. I feel like I had a conversation, like a therapy session with myself. So I got to switch that control to discipline. I got to discipline me. I got to respect my own time, respect other people's wants. If this is what I'm supposed to do, if I'm going to go out there and impact lives, well, those lives are waiting for me, right? Well, what am I waiting for then? Right? So I have to let go of that control and turn that into discipline, right? Yeah, not going to look back. No way. For the first time, it's spoken to my heart. I've prayed for 2 months, like after this whole thing that happened, she left, the job dump, the health dump. 2 months, I banged my head against the wall, cried, screamed, yelled, why this, why that, dealing with a lot of anger and hurt emotions. Still, I'm being transparent. And, but finally it speaks to you. Finally he says, dude, like, I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, especially in our space, in the stuttering space, there's just, I know the struggle about getting a job. I know the struggle. See, the thing is this, I can almost guarantee you, anybody who stutters today, okay, no matter how bad it is, we put 100,000 cash in their bank account tonight, I'm willing to bet their stutter goes down a little bit tomorrow. I'm just saying. You can challenge me. I'm telling you, you can put in 100,000 in somebody's bank account today who stutters, and tomorrow, it's going to affect his stuttering. It's that confidence that shoots up and it works in other areas. See, that's the big difference, right? I was one of those, maybe that in a way I grew up that it helped me, but I was always that guy that I had to compete in a corporate world. I was always that guy, always. It didn't matter how many agents, how many people in the company, it didn't matter. I was always that guy, and I feel like I lost it here, right? Hallelujah. So anyway, I hope you guys got some love out of this. Man, I yapped. I think this is the longest live I've ever done. This got to count like 3 lives. So I appreciate you guys. If you are lacking movement, activity, if you think that Why am I not taking action? I used to take action somewhere else. I'm not taking action here. What is it? What is going on? Why I'm not moving? Why I'm not inspired, motivated, whatever you want to call it? I drew, well, two from Ray, but one I drew from myself today. You drew the wrong conclusions about success at one point. You said at one point, you said, no matter how hard I try, it won't matter. Maybe you did something for your parents and they shut you down. Maybe you baked a cake out of love and it was just so amazing. And they came home and they said, what the hell did you do to the kitchen? So you're thinking to yourself, oh, no matter what I do, I won't win. So that's drawing the wrong conclusion to success. Two, maybe you had a situation where your parents or your upbringing was made easy for you. It just fed you, you know. Oh, don't do that. I got it for you. I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. I got you. Son, you sit down. Daughter, you sit. I got you. Oh, you want water? I got you. I got you. You want, right? It's just made easy for you. Like it was just like almost fed to you all the time. Or maybe you have lived a life of being under someone, having been controlled, having been told a lot of things that are not positive. Maybe you lived a life where your upbringing was not very inspiring, was not very you can do it type of upbringing. And you've always looked for a getaway. And then when you first find it, you get away. That's the wrap up. And for me, definitely the last one hits home, way home. So starting tomorrow, this is what I was fighting with. Well, not fighting with, just kind of just journaling, just thinking, and just all this stuff in my head. Between all my appointments, I had to, I can't talk about that. But so now that I know this, every time I remember, I've been I've been thinking, why can't I take it? Why? Like, why? Now that I know that, and I've been practicing this, I catch myself with these thoughts, and I'm like, stop it, stop, Sean, stop. Like literally yesterday, I talked about it in my life. I literally had to tell myself stop like 300,000 times. These thoughts would hit me. But now that I know, I'm gonna practice that stop. Sean, stop. You're in full control. You are in full control. I gotta keep reminding myself that. This is the punchline that has held me back for 50 years. I'm in control. There's no act. There's no pretending, right? You gotta fully believe in that. And now that I know, every time that comes to my head, every time I want to procrastinate, every time I'm not going to be consistent, every time I'm not going to do MMA, money-making activities, every time I'm not going to want to be lazy and not go to the gym or reach out to somebody, I'm going to say to myself, you know what? Get a grip. You're in control. This is not a getaway. You're in control. You're doing this because you have chosen to do this. There's nobody telling you to go to the bathroom at this time. Dude, run your business in 26 countries on your mobile phone. Are you kidding me right now? And I'm complaining about that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I have to keep telling myself, and I want you to keep telling yourself that when you have these thoughts hit you, stop. Your name, insert your name, stop, Sean. You are in control. You're in absolute control. You're in the driver's seat. You are in control. And you have a purpose. That's what you're all about, right? So, I hope you got some love. You've been amazing, Cookie. Thank you. Come on, you've been amazing. You have been amazing. I haven't been supportive. I actually have not been supportive. I've been playing it extremely small in in our groups. You know, even Margie tells me, "Don't tell Margie." But even she, we'll talk tomorrow. But yeah. So I've been playing small, and I know why now. You know, I feel like I'm just chilling, and I don't have that control over me, and I gotta think about it's not a control. You know what I mean? I'm in full control. This is my thing, right? So we're gonna play bigger together. How about that? We all are. And man, this was a long live. If you stayed to this point, Cookie, you deserve not only a cookie, but like a medal. You know, that's for sure. If you heard me yap for that long, man, I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys. Again, I cannot thank you enough for all the love you guys are giving me on my reels. I'm having fun with them. Robin, what's going on? How are you? Thank you for. I didn't know you were here, so hopefully you were here for most of it. Yeah, thank you for giving me all this love on the reels. I'm not gonna sing tonight. My gig has been Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's a lot of stuff going on in Iran, and I know there's a lot of people that are sensitive, and I'm gonna give it a break one day, and not. But I'm gonna do a funny skit, so don't trip on that. You know it's coming. I know it's coming. And if you didn't hear the whole, I would really, you know, yeah, I'd watch this live. This live is 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 money. Probably one of my best lives. So with that, I appreciate you guys. Funny skit coming tomorrow. I got a song already done. Saturday I got a song already. It not done, but it will be done. But tonight I'm gonna do a funny skit for you. This kid has got so many skits that it's unbelievable. They're just so funny. Oh, before I go, since if anybody's here, I want to come up with a name for the other character. So I'm starting to do a 2-character reels, right? So like a B kind of guy. So one obviously is going to be me. So give me some name suggestions for the other guy. Drop it in the comments. I'm gonna post it in on my profile as well to get some suggestions from you. I definitely want to name that character. I think it'll be much more fun. So come up with a name for me. I actually don't even have a clue. Don't even have an idea of what to name him. But come up with something good, funny, you know. Anyway, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for letting me being so transparent and even emotional. I'm a crier. I cried when Rambo ran out of ammunition. So I cry at everything, even my own story. But I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments below. Nothing but love here. Everything I post and all the skits I do is nothing but love. Please understand that. And with that, until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.